my name is Rob, Happy New Year and welcome to the first episode of Metal Monthly for 2024. In this we are going to talk about everything that happened in metal music in December of 2023. So let's get straight into it with albums. What albums came out in December 2023? First off we have Paradise Lost with Icon 30. This is a gothic metal band who have been going since the 1980s. They basically invented death doom metal. Basically their music is slow but not especially distorted and the vocals are quite clean. So this isn't actually a new album, this is a re-recording of the band's fourth album, Icon, which was released 30 years ago and is probably the band's most successful album to date. So a re-recording of an album is a bit strange, you don't see that very often. So basically it's the band proving that they've still got it, but also showing you what that album sounds like now that they've got 30 extra years of experience. And what it sounds like is amazing. This was a really good album. I listened to the original album afterwards, and basically this re-release is a lot less gritty, a lot less raw, and kind of de-emphasises the gothic elements. The original one was much more gothic. The original is great, but the re-recording sounds good. It's just taken off a little bit of that rough edge around it, a little bit less of the raw sound. The vocals on the re-recording sound amazing. Considering it's the same person 30 years later, it still sounds amazing. The vocals are not over the top, they're not exaggerated, they're just slightly low, slightly rough, done with a man with confidence in his vocals. The guitar is still the focus of the music and it sounds amazing, it's expertly played, and the drums are never really the focus, but they're a nice accompaniment to it. Overall the sound is amazing. I genuinely recommend everyone check out the original and this new re-recording. Next up, Atreyu with The Beautiful Dark of Life. This is the only band that released an album this month that I'd actually heard of, and I never really listened to Atreyu in the past, so this was an interesting experience, actually going, okay, let's give this band a try. So Atreyu is a metalcore band who have been going for a lot longer than I realised. They've been going since 1998, and this is their 9th studio album. And this album is apparently a little bit more experimental than their previous work, which interests me, because I never really listened to a lot of Atreyu in the past. So this is one of those albums that is really heavy metalcore, but mixed in with that is really clean, comprehensible lyrics, which is always a bit strange, but is genuinely how I prefer my metalcore. I like to be able to hear those singers. The songs themselves are pretty short and enjoyably mixed in styles. There's the heavy stuff that is great for mosh pits, there's some nice melodic bits, and there are some bits that are focused on the clean vocals, which I really enjoyed. All the songs are high energy, which I love, and they're all short enough to not outstay their welcome. So yes, I've never been into Atreyu, but I really liked this album. Maybe I have been sleeping on Atreyu, as the kids would have said about 5 or 6 years ago. I might have to check more Atreyu out, this was a really good album. Next up, Theron with Leviathan 3. This is a Swedish symphonic metal band, which again, I've never really been the biggest fan of, so this was an interesting album to listen to. So this is the third album, shockingly, in the Leviathan trilogy. I listened to all of them and they are all really good, really epic albums. And again, I don't really like symphonic metal. It's like heavy metal opera without sounding weird and cheesy. It's just really good to listen to. The vocals are obviously beautifully sung because it's like opera. The music is basically there to highlight the vocals, which do sound amazing. There is heavy metal there, but they give the vocals time to shine. I don't want to overpraise the album because as much as I enjoyed it, I probably won't be listening to it again. It is symphonic metal, it's not my kind of thing, but listening to it was quite fun. If you like Swedish symphonic metal, check this out. You probably already have, let's face it. And finally we have my favourite part of the album section. This is the I've never heard of this band before, but I really like the band title or album name. And for this month we have Polka Dot Cadaver with Echoes of the Hellscape. So yeah, I just thought Polka Dot Cadaver was a really fun name, and I had to check that band out. So Polka Dot Cadaver is basically made up of the band members of Dog Fashion Disco. It's basically that band after they officially disbanded. Some of the members got back together and created Polka Dot Cadaver. The thing is, I've never heard of Dog Fashion Disco either, so that doesn't really help me. So weirdly, this album was a lot more chilled out than I was expecting. I don't know why, I just kind of thought Polka Dot Cadaver was a much more heavy, thrashier kind of band. So the vocals are mostly clean, the guitar is very hard and rough, and there is a keyboard in there and it adds another element to the album, but it's not like electronica, it's just, there's a keyboard there, sometimes it's a piano, sometimes it's adding extra sounds there, but it's not electronica, it's still heavy metal with a bit of a weird tinge to it. I don't know, I just really liked it. The album was quite varied. Sometimes it's very fast and heavy, sometimes it's a little bit more laid back, sometimes it's doing weird things with tempo, sometimes the singer is like the highlight, sometimes he's not. It was a good album. It was just a bit weird, and I like that in bands. Next up, we have Music Festival Explorer. This is my website where I write about heavy metal, music festivals, things like that. This is always awkward in January because the blog post I wrote in December was, are there any heavy metal Christmas songs that are actually good? And now it's January and you probably don't care. If you do care, there is a link in the description. Otherwise, I do also have like 100 other blog posts on the website you could also check out. The latest Google update has kind of screwed my website and lots of other small websites. So if you fancy checking out my website, giving it some clicks, that'd be really helpful. Thanks. And finally, we have the fun story from last month, but in this sense, it's more fun to point and laugh at it. So, you know how metalheads have kind of got this stereotype of being a bit dumb? Well, Megadeth are not really helping that because in December 2023, they released an NFT collection. Like, long after everybody else in the world realised that they were useless or a scam. Then Megadeth came in and were like, do you know what we want to do? So they've released an NFT collection with thousands in there and you can buy one, but it's not just you can get the NFT, there's also, it opens you up to being able to buy specific one-off merchandise or specific experiences. You could win VIP tickets, you could win like one-on-one chat sessions with the band. You know, a competition. Like, why change the well-known concept of a competition and just crowbar NFTs in? Why would you do that? Sorry, blows my mind that anyone is still trying to make money from NFTs. Absolutely insane. Anyway, that is everything I have for you today. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and my little rant there at the end. If you've enjoyed this video, please do click like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rob and I will see you next month.